So, I want to thank Terry for finding this. We got Steve a picture of the 734 boat. Steve's favorite, ABS boat, where Steve basically lived in Kings Bay, Georgia at the refit facility, getting ABS up and running and keeping it going. Steve actually had the opportunity to actually ride a patrol with a crew, which is really unique. Awesome experience. So we wanted to get you something unique to put in the picture.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so it's my turn. And I just want to say we had Josh go first because I thought the bar would be really low. I'm feeling a little more pressure now. And,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
And the second thing that there's one other thing I'm very uncomfortable about is I'll always be a fluids guy at heart, and there's way too many electrical people. And I think if there's a fight, we'd probably lose. That's my gut.
Damn right.
So I'm going to keep it brief, but Steve and I, we've been fortunate enough to work together for a long time, many different jobs, and like Josh said, you have been incredibly dedicated, incredibly capable every step of the way. But as I was thinking about you retiring, there's one other thing besides your 110% that I thought about, which is I have seen you, no matter how stressful the situation, how hard the challenge, you've treated everybody above you, below you, around you with the utmost respect and treated people right. So, I think for me and all the folks in the room, that's something to take away, is that's how you do it. It's about the job first, treating people right. The other thing that you always did was always about your team, right? It was always about your team, not about Steve, about your team. So it really has been a pleasure working with you. And so I want to cut this a little short because I was very pleased that we were able to pull something off. We have a letter from Admiral Houston to you on your retirement. So I want to read it to you and everybody here. So it says, "Dear Steve, in light of your forthcoming retirement, please accept my thanks for the contributions you have made in support of the Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program over your 37-year career with Electric Boat. Your efforts supporting all classes of ballistic missile and fast attack submarines from the Ohio class to the Columbia class. In 1988, you began as an electrical engineer on the Ohio class and the SAG prototype project. In that role, you worked countless hours supporting SAG plant systems. Your career spanned numerous troubleshooting efforts, participation in several sea trials, and even riding a commissioned boat on patrol. Your efforts contributed to the reliability of submarine electrical systems for the fleet. Your career also included work as the shipyard's United Kingdom Astute Electrical Systems Manager, driving completion of Virginia-class test documentation, proposal development for overhaul and repair work, and 7 years managing the commissioned submarine's electrical systems department. Your efforts supported all electrical system sustainment activities in conjunction with the planning yards and public shipyards for all classes of submarines and prototype units. Your work led to your selection to lead the stand-up of the S6G Moored Training Ship Conversion Electrical Department, which ultimately transitioned to support the Columbia-class submarine electrical system and component design efforts. Your work culminated in your selection as engineering director responsible for all Columbia-class electrical systems, overseeing over 400 personnel essential to delivery of one of the top Department of Navy acquisition priorities. Your efforts made a difference to the Navy and to the country. Again, I express my personal thanks for your contributions and for sacrifices that you and your wife, Lisa, made throughout the years. I wish you the best in this next chapter of your life. Fair winds and following seas, W.J. Houston. And I scared the hell out of myself when the glass cover started shifting, but you have a beautiful model, as you requested, the Ohio class submarine, for all the work that you did on that class. So congratulations, Steve. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Hey, it was 10. Last week it was 10.
supposed to go after that, huh?
It's not, no, no.
At the end of the other night, Hughes Holiday, he told me I had to talk for 10 minutes. The good news for you guys is I don't always do what my boss says. I have a lot of stuff here, but it's been talked about already, so I'm not gonna try to hit everything that's already been said. But I will say that, I started electrical in 1988, this is before we had computers and everything, and I should have known what my career was gonna be like in terms of, I'm gonna call it instability, moving around a lot. I got the job offer from Electric Boat. I waited a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, didn't hear back from Electric Boat with a written offer. Called the personnel department, found out that they lost my paperwork. So, hold on, we'll send it out to you today. Sounds pretty familiar. Then I showed up for my first day, which is April 11th, 1988. And I showed up in the HR department. They said, there's a department that wants to talk to you. They just lost their power guy. So that was Ed Kozlowskis, Ed, his group. So I actually brought a copy because I have the original. I don't want to lose my original. This is the transfer slip from my very first day of work from moving from Department 474 to Department 478. And I was going to start working on prototypes. That's where I was going to be working. So, you heard Josh. Steve spent a lot of time down the boats. This really did transform my career, the fact that I moved over to support submarines instead. And it's really pretty cool. And my roommate a couple years later was in the department I was supposed to go into, and he told me that they had my desk set up, they had everything was set up, waiting for me to come up. I never showed up my first day, they didn't know where I was. I can't imagine that if anybody did that to me as my job. Yeah. But I will say, you said everything's about team. Everything is about team, right? Everything we do is about the team. You can list all the things that I worked on, all the different projects, and there are a lot. And I realized as I was sitting there writing, I did write notes. When I wrote the notes for this about all the things that I've done and all the places I've been, and every single one of those, what I think about is the people who were with me during that time. The people who were with me when I started, when I was going down to the shipyard all the time. The people who bailed me out when I was doing the ABS job. Mark Allen for the Transformers, ABT, excuse me. I remember when I was working all those hours, who was with me. I remember who was with me when I was working the Astute program. That's what you're going to walk away thinking about years from now. I'm just letting you know. When you start thinking about your memories, you're not going to think about, I did this, and I wrote this piece of paper, I wrote that piece of paper. It's the people who are with you. And I'd like to think that I helped people. As I got to the point where I was helping other people, they were helping me, and I was helping them. Sorry, I'm kind of losing a little bit. But, you have to look out for other people. When I first started here, my mentor was Larry Lissert. Those of you remember Larry? Larry was Dilbert. He had a tie that went down here, a white shirt with short sleeves. You could see the t-shirt underneath of it. Pants that went up to here, white socks. He was funny. He used a slide rule. He worked on the Nautilus. And I worked with Larry on the very first arc fault detection system. I came in, that was one of the first assignments I got, was help design arc fault. And we got the system up and running, and the shipyard came and said, we need somebody, Larry, we need you to run sea trials. You're gonna ride the boat. I'd only been at EB, maybe a year, I think, maybe less. And Larry, he was incredibly selfless. He says, Steve knows the system as well as I do. Take him. So I got to ride the boat. That was the 34 boat. I got to ride the 34. No problems, fixed a bunch of other stuff. 35 boat came along, they said, we're still not sure about that arc fault system. Steve, we're gonna come with us. Then 36 boat came along, it's like, Steve, you're coming. And 36 boat, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, a bunch of tours on the 34 boat. And as it's been said twice here already, I just gotta say, it's a very rare opportunity. I got to ride a patrol. That was the coolest experience I'll ever take away from Electric Boat. I have credit from the Navy for Deterrent Patrol number 22 on the 34 boat. And and that gave me a huge appreciation of what we do and what it means to those sailors who are out at sea. Because they weren't just sailors. They talked to me about their families, what they were doing with their families off duty or on duty. And so I always tell people, I said, every day when I go home, what I did that night, what decisions I made, what product I signed, what my team did, how I treated my team. I want to make sure I can put my head on that pillow at night and say, I did the right things. Some days I don't. Some days I replay my day and say, I got to fix that tomorrow. I wasn't very nice to somebody. But you have to do that, and you got to have empathy. When somebody's coming to you with something, where are they coming from? It's very easy to lose ourselves, and this is how I'm treating it. That's a nothing. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. With all that said, I want to thank each of you for coming here. Everybody's here because in some way you've touched my life. I hope I've touched yours, and I want to thank you for the support you've provided me. And I want to also thank my wife for putting up with me. She's not here tonight. I'm sorry, she couldn't make it. She's up Maine taking care of her mother. She told me she'd know if I mentioned her to make sure I said. She did. And you know, it's funny. My wife made a comment to me the other day. She said, I told her I'm concerned about retirement. What's it going to be like? You know, I said, you know, my wife kind of encourages me to spend money. I said, you know, it's always been easy because it's always like, I can make more money. I can just work longer. Well, now I'm not going to have more money. And she says, I'm more worried about you're going to go from being a somebody to being a nobody. You used to be the guy in charge. And you're going to come home and now you're not going to be the guy in charge. So I got that notice for you. But thank you guys for making this a very memorable and very emotional experience for me tonight. And really, I do appreciate it. This is, you know, you guys know, this is my family. I've given a lot to this place, and I think this place has given a lot back to me.